Attention! Welcome to the team, Joes. Anyone have any questions? I do, sir. What is your question, BBQ? Sergeant, where do I sign up for my own combat pet? I've always wanted a Dalmatian.
Hey boys and girls, welcome to another super exciting, outrageous toy review. Today we're taking a look at the Slaughter's Marauders version of Spirit. This is the G.I. Joe tracker in his 1989 color scheme. Spirit wasn't the first Native American member of G.I. Joe, but he certainly is the one that reminds us there was an Indian on the G.I. Joe team. Here's Spirit stripped down to his basic figure. You can see he's decorated in blue, brown, light green, and dark green, like all the other Slaughter's Marauders figures. He has some odd choices with his paint schemes, I would say. He's got no eyebrows, which isn't the end of the world, but looks a little bit funny. All his chest detail, which he has quite a bit of, is all lost to the stripes. Nothing's picked out. The sheath here, the fringe, any of that stuff. It's all just plain. He's got just a little tiny bit of the knife handle and the grenades over there picked out. He's got blue gloves, which again is bizarre. And in the original toy, the version 1 figure, he would have only had bracelets. They weren't gloves. And they've turned them into blue gloves, which matches low light, but doesn't match barbecue. And of course, they could have done the glove option with Footloose or Sgt Slaughter, but chose not to paint their wristbands. Down below, his camo continues on his pants, where he's finished off with a nice set of blue boots. It's also interesting to note they painted a belt on Spirit, even though he doesn't actually have one sculpted on. There is no belt buckle on this figure. The original figure just wears like buckskin pants, because his belt is actually right here. Spirit comes with standard 1984 articulation, because that's when the figure mold was made. His head is able to turn side to side, although the rigid plastic they used for his ponytails makes that a little tricky. The vintage figure that was first released has much softer ponytails, makes that a little bit easier. But he's got standard G.I. Joe shoulder joints. He's got a swivel there at the end of his sleeve, as well as the hinge in the elbow. He's got that O-ring construction for his waist and his hips. And then he's got knee joints. Spirit comes with a black dart gun. This is a remold of his original accessory. He has a black backpack with additional ammo for his gun. He has a black and brown belt made out of a semi-flexible material. I think if you flex it too much, though, the paint might eventually start to flake off. That was a problem with the vintage version. And of course, Spirit comes with his bird freedom. Always be careful with the feet on these birds. They do have a tendency to break off. Always thought he looks like those toys that balance perfectly, you know, and you can put them on the edge of something and they just sit there. Between his ponytails, his bald eagle, his gun that shoots arrow-like weapons, and his little belt here, he was just brimming with Native American pride. I had the 1984 version of Spirit as a kid given to me by a neighbor that outgrew his G.I. Joes, and loved that figure. Really, really liked that figure, mostly because he had a pet bird. Also, just thought that his dart gun and backpack that matched up with the ammo clips were really neat. So I've always been a big fan of Spirit. I did pass up on Slaughter's Marauders Spirit as a kid, though, because I already had the character. I often avoided repaints of characters I already owned, but did take advantage of repaints as a chance to get characters I didn't have. This particular Spirit has an odd blue paint mishap on his cheek there. I kind of wish they could have given him dark brown boots and maybe used the blue for the fringe on the side of his pants, or for this belt strap and maybe the holster up here. I think that would have been a better balance of the color.
Listen up, maggots. If you go to JokeOn and you see Kevin, make sure to say hi and let him know you watch SEO Toy Review. Dismissed.
Thanks for watching this super exciting, outrageous toy review. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos.